So recently, Nate Diaz and Brendan Schaub have been going back and forth and have had some harsh words to say about each other on social media. Now, this beef has actually been going on for 7 years, and in this video, I'm going to tell you the full story behind it. So the beef between Nate Diaz and Brendan Schaub actually goes back to 2017 at the Conor McGregor versus Floyd Mayweather fight. Now, as we know, Conor McGregor lost that fight, but Nate Diaz and Brendan Schaub both actually attended that fight and they crossed paths backstage. Now, just bearing in mind, this was after the 2 fights between Conor McGregor and Nate Diaz, and Brendan Schaub basically approached Nate Diaz and said, "Hey, I think that was a great performance from Conor McGregor. I believe the trilogy fight between you and Conor should be next." And for whatever reason, Nate Diaz took extreme offense to Brendan Schaub saying that he should fight Conor McGregor next, and that's when they started arguing backstage.
I disagree. You didn't try. You didn't win 4 rounds. You didn't win 4. What rounds? You didn't win no rounds. That's why I think you drop on that.
Now, just bearing in mind, this was after the 2 fights with Conor McGregor and Nate Diaz, and Nate Diaz and Conor McGregor were still having beef behind the scenes, and at this point, Brendan Schaub was actually on the broadcast for McGregor versus Mayweather, and he had a lot of positive words to say about Conor McGregor, which Nate Diaz didn't like, and on top of that, Nate was actually on Floyd Mayweather's side for this fight. Nate was in Floyd Mayweather's dressing room before and after the fight, so this probably added a bit of fuel to the fire as well. So after the altercation between Nate Diaz and Brendan Schaub went on the Fighter and the Kid podcast and he gave the full story of why he was arguing with Nate Diaz backstage. Brendan basically explained word for word what happened backstage between him and Nate Diaz.
So I'm talking to Amir Khan, Terrence Crawford, Berto. We're on the back, and I'm with the Showtime guys. They're in suits, so I'm in my suit. They're like, "Hey, we got to get you back." I'm like, "Cool." I'm walking down the back, and I see Nate Diaz. Now, there's no UFC really there. There's no UFC representative or anything. In my head, I go, "Oh, shit, same fraternity. He's by himself. I got to say what's up." I heard before him do interviews, obviously on social media stuff, like kind of talking shit about Conor, talking shit like that. I saw him, and my first instinct was to go to him and go, "This is what you should be doing." They have a press conference. They're getting an interview. What I would do, I know a few things about marketing. I'm not the best in the world, but I have a few
You're very
ideas.
good at it.
I was just going to offer my help because a lot of guys ask me for help, and I usually don't do it.
What were you
going
going to say to him?
I was going to say, "Hey, Conor obviously lost, but I don't think you celebrate his failure. I think you celebrate the fact that he won rounds against the best of all time, and it shows how good of a striker you are because you outboxed Conor in the octagon. So what you should sell is Conor won rounds against Floyd. I'm going to be able to finish Conor better than Floyd did and faster, and then give your list of reasons." That's my plan of action. So
you're going there to tell him that.
To my right, and people Showtime like, "Hey, we got to go." I'm like, hold on. So I see him by himself on his phone, and I go up and go, "Brother, we did good tonight, man. Hopefully you get that next huge fight, biggest pay-per-view of all time in the UFC." Being cool, you know me.
Yeah, of course. Plus you like him.
Yeah, I like him. He looks up and he goes, "Oh, hell no. You must feel like a fucking dumbass." And I'm kind of caught off. I'm like, "Excuse me?" He's like, "Are you talking all that shit about Conor?" I'm like, whoa, stop. All that shit. I work for Showtime, man. I'm here to represent MMA. What all that shit?
Also, what you said came true. You weren't.
And then I go, "He won rounds, bro. Like, how can you hate on him? He won round." He goes, "That's just because you don't know boxing. Floyd gave him that rounds." I went, "However you think about it, he still won rounds against the greatest of all time. Now he's getting heated." And I'm like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "What is going on here?" I was literally coming over to help you. I should not have stopped. And he keeps talking, and then he goes, he hits me. He's in my face a little bit. And he hits me. He goes, "You just don't know boxing. You don't know shit about boxing." I go, "Yeah, I know, it's crazy. I'm working for Showtime, doing more stuff for Showtime too. So I'll see you, man." And he still keeps talking shit. Then he starts talking about my career. This is how I knew he was running out of material. He's like, "Oh, nice fight with Arlovsky, blah, blah." I'm like, "What?" I went, "What? That's it?" And then he keeps talking. I can't understand him. And I think this was the trigger. I turn around and go, "Bro, use your words. I can't understand a shit you're saying." He has that list when his speech isn't exactly the best. I didn't mean to offend him. I couldn't understand what he's saying. I go, "Bro, use your words." I think that was a trigger. Then he flips me off, starts doing this. I'm like, what are you doing right now? I was so embarrassed. I mean, I'm around, like, so embarrassed.
Yeah.
It's all business people. I'm like, what is going on right now? And then I tell him, like, whoa, I have zero problem with you. Like, that caught me out of left field. I'm like, I have zero issues with you. What are you doing right now? So I go to walk away, and he just keeps talking.
And just to let you know, guys, I've recently launched a new YouTube mentorship called YouTube 10X, where I teach creators how to 10X their views and revenue on YouTube. Recently, I helped all of these creators get monetized on YouTube. I also helped this creator reach 75,000 subscribers in 2 months. If you're interested in joining YouTube 10X, I'll leave a link in the description of this video. Now, fast forward to this week, the beef between Schaub and Nate Diaz was reignited once again, and it started like this. So recently, Brendan Schaub posted this video expressing his concern for former UFC champion and his close friend, Shane Carwin. Now, in this video, Brendan Schaub got pretty upset and he was very close to tears, and he said that his friend Shane Carwin is suffering with CTE and is struggling financially, and he got extremely upset in this video talking about it.
You know, Shane recently came out, Carwin, who was, you know, like a brother to me, and Shane's struggling, man. That's my main training partner. Bring up what Shane said. Despite having a degree in engineering from Colorado School of Mines, I've been unable to maintain adequate focus to hold down my engineering job. I face serious challenging, meaning basic.
Damn.
Former world champ. I face serious challenges in meeting basic everyday expenses for food, shelter. How do you not just go, I get it, dude, boom,
Yeah.
10, 15 mil, your troubles. Can we be human for a fucking second? Could you just be a fucking human being for a second and go, here, dude, here, man, we know. You don't have to do it publicly. Just as from fucking human to human, man. This guy put his life on the line. I've seen it, dude. I was with him every step of the way from day fucking one. He's such a good person. How can you not just go, here you go. Don't worry about it. That's pennies to these guys.
Now, Nate Diaz actually popped up and responded to this video, and he tweeted, "Brendan, the big old pussy Schaub." Brendan Schaub responded back saying, "Oh buddy, I prob got 20 pounds on you, so not too far off. I'll snap your neck. Set up a grappling match and let me know how it goes for you. Have one of your handlers read this tweet and get back to me." On his podcast, Brendan Schaub also did a video response to Nate Diaz, responding to Nate's tweet and challenged Nate to a grappling match. Now, Brendan got pretty heated in this podcast, and he literally said to Nate Diaz, if it was a one-on-one fight, he would snap Nate Diaz's neck. Here's what he had to say.
How honest do I want to be with you guys? This whole social media thing, like Brent didn't even tag me, Brendan the big old pussy Schaub, crying emoji. Here's how I feel about it. This is just internet gossip, right? This gets him trending. He doesn't have a lot going on. Didn't get paid for the Masvidal fight. Probably doesn't know what he's going to do next. Conor, he's probably waiting on that. Conor's tied up with the TV right deal, so he's probably banking on that. He fought Masvidal, lost to Jake Paul, right? That's a big blow to his ego. So I guess he needs to do this to stay current. I retired 15 years ago, man. That being said, that's social media. This isn't real. Because here's what's real. I will fuck you up. That's real. I'm not asking for this. I don't want to fuck him up. I'm not trying to fuck him up. End of the day, if he walked in right now, I said, Chin, Case, can you guys leave? Only one of us is going to walk out unscathed, and it's me. Every fucking day of the week, 365 days a year, I will snap his fucking neck. I know. What's his fucking area code? 209? I know, 209. I get all that. Very cool. None of that is real. Oh, but he did great against Donald Cerrone. Did you see him? Leon Edwards, dude, he's had some great fights, tough dude. I don't give a fuck. I'm 245 pounds, trained black belt, top 10 UFC heavyweight in the world at one point. I'm not out of shape. I'm a fucking beast when it comes down to, I know, I tell jokes, I do crazy shit, I've made some mistakes. Oh, he got knocked out by Nogueira. Oh, he's into trucks. I get all that. Firing the kids, silly dude. I get all that. At the end of the day, the way this works, I'm not a civilian like the rest of his goons around him. I'm not this fake gangster. I don't go looking for fights. I know I'm tough. I don't have to get on Twitter and blast it out and prove it every day because I'm insecure because whatever shit he has going on with his childhood trauma. I don't have to do that. At the end of the day, I will twist your fucking neck off. Ask your boys. There's many of guys that you fucks with, that I've rolled with. Ask them how it went. Go ahead and ask them. Very close guys to you. Ask them how it went, bud. That's real. This isn't real. And the difference between you and I, Nate, a million fucking things, don't get me started. But the difference between you and I, if you start crying because your brother who has CT, the difference between you and I is if your brother, and Shane's a brother to me, if your actual fucking brother came out and started getting emotional, or if you started coming out getting emotional about your brother's issues with CT and fighting and all this shit, because we know he has his issues, I would support you, even though you've been a dick to me the entire time. That's what I do. That's what men do, bud. I wouldn't bash you. And this whole narrative, your entire narrative, oh, fuck the man. Bud, you've been paid more than 99% of the fighters. Cut the bullshit. You're no different than Kobe Compton, this MAGA shit. It's all fake, bud. You're not fooling anybody. I've seen how the sausage is made. You're not tough to me. I know tough guys. Tough guys don't get on the internet and tweet at another grown fucking man who beat the shit out of them when they're crying or they're getting emotional because their friend of 20 fucking years is having major issues, suicidal thoughts. That's pussy. That's the difference between you and I. I'm not some moron who buys into your tough guy narrative, bud. I don't give a fuck you're from Sacramento. That's your biggest thing? That's it? That's the narrative? I know tough guys from Sacramento. What are you gonna do, Nate? What are you gonna do? Volume punch me, motherfucker? That's what you're gonna do? What are you gonna do? Out grapple me? In what fucking sense? What world are you living in? This is the real world. Now, if you're doing this because you fancy yourself a fisticuffs, if you fancy yourself, you want to actually grapple me, I'm not hard to get a hold of. Pull the fuck up. And you can show up with all your boys, do all that stuff. But what a real man will do is pull up one-on-one. I don't have a posse. I don't need one, bud. I'll drop my kid off at fucking practice, roll over, twist your fucking neck off, and then pick him up just in time unscathed with a Diet Coke. And that's how this goes for the rest of your fucking life, bud. Whenever I want. I didn't ask for this. I don't want to do this. This isn't what I do. I don't like drama. I didn't ask for this. Again, and if you came out, I would support you, Nate. I support fighters.
Yeah, this is crazy. As you can see there, Brendan Schaub had a lot of things to say about Nate Diaz there. And in my opinion, I think this got a little bit out of hand from the very start when they first had that altercation backstage 7 years ago. I think it's just kind of misunderstanding between the two of them. I believe that, Brendan Schaub does respect Nate Diaz, but for whatever reason, Nate just doesn't like Brendan. He doesn't like things that he says. And I think it's just a misunderstanding between both of them. But obviously, it's a very deep misunderstanding. But anyway, give me your thoughts on what you think about the beef between Nate Diaz and Brendan Schaub. Who is in the wrong? Who is in the right? Give me your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what you think.